Hi there, my name's Jody O'Brien. I bet you're watching this video because you signed up to join us on one of our webinars and you're not sure exactly how to log on or how the webinar conferencing app works. So I'm going to show you from the start of your reminder or confirmation in your email all the way through attending the webinar. You've most likely already registered through the provider of the webinar and received a confirmation email. I'm going to jump over to one that's sitting in my inbox so we can take a look at it. Just a reminder, your confirmation comes at the time you register, but you will also, depending upon how early you register for the webinar, will receive a reminder a week before, a day before, and an hour before. So here's a look at our reminder. You'll notice that I am bringing up one that's sponsored by the Greater Boston Association of Realtors for a continuing education class. And right here in the middle of the reminder is the link to join the webinar. So at the time of the webinar starts, which you'll notice is at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for this, just click on the link and it will launch the webinar platform. I would suggest you aim at joining us slightly before 9. As a matter of fact, if it's the first time you're on a webinar, I open up the webinar a half an hour early. So anytime from 8:30 on, if you join really quickly, great, you can go grab yourself a cup of coffee. If it takes a while to join, you've got plenty of time. Some of the webinars you may have signed up for are extremely time dependent, such as a continuing education webinar. So you want to make sure you have plenty of time to resolve any issues that may occur when you're logging on, although frankly, they're few and far between. I would also suggest to you that you consider, from your confirmation reminder, adding this to your calendar. You'll notice that there are 3 of the most common calendar functions right here on the app, on the reminder, and those are to enter it into an Outlook calendar, a Google calendar, or iCal, which is the Apple calendar. I'm going to launch right here the Google reminder. You'll notice that I use Gmail myself. And it will open up a calendar app, and here's the link right here in the description section of it. I can change the calendar that I put it into. The yellow tells me that the provider is at Pacific time. That's actually where GoToWebinar is, and it will convert to your own time locally once you enter it into your calendar. So you just click save and you've entered it into your calendar. You can do almost the identical thing for Outlook or your Apple Calendar. One other thing you will note that if you are joining us on a mobile platform, you'll need your webinar ID to log into, and that is right here in your reminder, right below the login information. So for those of you who are joining us on an Apple iPad or an Android tablet or an iPhone or an Android phone, you'll need the GoToWebinar app and the webinar ID in order to join us. So there is your reminder. Once you click on that reminder, you will launch into the program using your browser. It will take a moment to download. That may be anywhere from just a few minutes if it's the first time you're on, or a couple of seconds if you've joined us before. Every once in a while, however, the program does run an update. So you want to make sure you've allowed yourself plenty of time to get on. Don't wait till the last minute, again, particularly if it's time dependent, like a continuing education class. Then it will log into the program and you'll be placed in what is known as the waiting room if you're joining us ahead of the start time of the webinar. This is the waiting room for a program called Mass Real Estate License Law that you'll see, and you will also notice that on the right side of your screen you have the GoToWebinar toolbar. And just a little explanation of the toolbar, how it works, will be coming up. You might want to prevent any problems that it takes, and this is where you generally see problems where you kind of hang at this point and never get all the way in. And there are some solutions on the GoToWebinar site for this. However, if you really want to prevent this problem, the best way to do that is by joining us on the browser Chrome. You can join us on Explorer, you can join us on Safari, and 9 people out of 10 don't have a problem. But Chrome is the recommended browser for the program. So if you'd like to download Chrome because you're not already using it, just go to google.com/Chrome/browser, and you'll see that it already recognizes that I'm on a map and downloads. If it's incorrect, you can just click here, and that's for another platform. Chrome is free. And by the way, it's a really great browser that I'd highly recommend you utilize for other platforms. Once you're up and going, the toolbar has a few functional aspects that I'd like to introduce you to. Number one is that red box on the outside edge with the arrow. That allows you to open or close, moving out of your way so you can view my full screen. The toolbar. By the way, if you're not looking at a full screen, you might want to click on the view and click on full screen right here so that you can see all of the details of what I'm showing you on the webinar. You will default to using your mic and speaker, or what is known as VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. You can test your audio by using the audio setup feature right here. Almost everyone will be just fine on the mic and speaker version. Occasionally, some people like to use, for the audio purposes, the telephone. If you click on that button, use a telephone, it will open up the telephone line. 2 things I want to remind you of. If you join me on a telephone only, please make sure it is a phone that does not have long distance services. Otherwise, you will be charged. It is not a toll-free number. Second, if you're joining me for a program that attendance is required and needs to be recorded, such as a continuing education program, you are not recorded as attending through the telephone only. You do need to log onto a computer as well. So you are simply using the telephone for the audio portion only. So just make sure you keep that in mind. And again, most of you will be just fine on the microphone and speakers. You will be muted, so you won't need the audio PIN number that's there. So you can communicate with me, although you are muted, by using the chat feature. The box is labeled questions, and you'll see where it says enter a question for our staff. That's me, and that's where your chat message is going over. You might also want to raise your hand and answer to some of my informal questions as well. That will allow you to communicate with me as well. Again, I want to remind everyone that GoToWebinar is a mobile application, so you can join me on our webinars on your tablet or your smartphone. And all you need to do is go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and download the GoToMeeting app in order to be able to join us. And again, it is only Apple and Android supported, but again, you want to make sure you do so by going to GoToMeeting. Don't use your web browser. It will immediately look for the app. So download the app in advance, again, so that you have it. It's a free app, GoToMeeting. If you have any problem logging on, you might want to jot down this number so you have it there. And that is the GoToWebinar Technical Support Hotline. That's 1-800-263-6317. And they'll be able to assist you. And basically, we'd like you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our webinar. I hope to see you soon on one of our webinars. Thanks for joining us.